Hello and welcome to episode 315, we think, of the 77 Club. Harry, start with the socials.
Yes, we're the Wall 77 Club on Facebook and Instagram. We're also on X as at 77 Club Podcast. And please subscribe to this YouTube channel and Spotify, iTunes, and all the good ones.
Jack Williams is here.
Hello, everybody.
Lot to get through tonight. We will get on to the appointment of Rob Edwards shortly. Harry, you're going to start in the Premier League, a game that we all went to, and it's probably a long time since we all went to a game together, to be fair. Chelsea away, 3-0 loss, not a shot on target. Give us your thoughts.
Well, we had a good weekend, didn't we?
Yeah.
But team was as expected, really. I think the only shock, thinking back, was Lopez wasn't even on the bench, was he? He went with Wang, Bellegarde and Strand Larsen. But first half, my thoughts really, first half was quite a good battle, as in defensively I thought we did okay and offered nothing going forward. And then, second half, same old story, innit? Concede a goal, all falls apart. I thought on the day, the fans were really good. Like, the week before at Fulham, very good away end, singing some good songs. The Liquidator, that was probably the highlight of the day, actually. The Liquidator before the game. And singing Rob Edwards' song, singing Get Jeff Shea Out. And then, it kind of all went quiet after the first few goals from Chelsea. Good to see Matthias Mane as well. That was a little highlight. Nice to see him come on.
20-minute cameo for him. I agree that we did have a good weekend. I mean, we spent most of it in an Irish bar in Ealing because the beers were under £5. So we had a nice time in that sense. We also went for a meal in a Thai restaurant. And my favourite bit of the evening was Harry saying, "These onion rings are nice." I was like, "That's squid." And then he wouldn't eat it again. So we tried to broaden his horizons. It didn't quite work.
Me and Walker were fighting over the onion rings. And then as soon as I found out there's squid, I'm like, yeah, you have them, mate. You have them.
It's like kids when you try and sneak onions into a meal. Anyway, that would have been good in this sense. But Jack, we were saying that the starting 11 should be pretty much what it was. I'll just go over it very quickly. Sam Johnson in goal, Chua. The two Buenos, Krejci and Totti, João Gomez, Andre, Bellegarde, Strand Larsen, Wang Yi-chan. Chua was crap, I thought, offered nothing. He has pace in abundance, but no end products, which sounds familiar having watched the Adama Traore the week before. What was your assessment of it? It looked like it was a fairly even game until, as Harry said, Chelsea scored.
Yeah, team selection, I think everyone was crying out on Andre and Gomez to start, and we did get that. There were question marks about who would play up top, and I think in the pub before we eventually said that maybe the best of the available people might actually push Huang back into the starting lineup, and that did happen because I don't think players like Arias have done anything to justify their place at all. But just same old stuff all over again, isn't it? Really, there was a little bit of hope there for a change. We weren't just battered from the start. I thought first half we defended quite well, and you were just thinking, okay, at least we're still in contention here, and we're frustrating Chelsea a bit. I know they had much more of the ball and much more threat, but the really depressing thing for me, and there was a few examples of it, is just how little we offered in the attacking third. And we've said this as a theme of our season, really, but we were so paranoid about defending and so low on confidence. There are occasions where the one that sticks out is where Huang received the ball in the middle of the park on kind of a break, turned, and there was no one in front of him. There was so much space for him to run into towards the goal, and running towards the goal doesn't even come into his mind. He just runs straight left. And then immediately, we basically just lose a great chance. And you just think back to our heyday a few years ago. If that had fallen to someone like Jota, he'd have turned and he would have gone. He'd have gone straight running towards that goal, and we'd have got a chance out of it. But so low on confidence, just not really knowing what to do in those situations now. It's just we weren't even giving ourselves a chance with the outball because of just where we were going and the decisions we were making. And we just don't look like being a threat in front of goal at all. So I can't see any of that really changing that quickly, given the players that we've got in the squad, and the bit in between João Gomez and Andre, and then the striker. That's a real concern for me because I just don't see enough going on there to have enough creativity to break down Premier League defences. So Rob Edwards has got a hell of a job in his hand.
Oh, 100%. And Harry, it's not many times this season that we've gone in the break without conceding a goal. So that was nice to see. Didn't last too long. But did you think it was strange? I know James Collins obviously isn't a fully fledged manager, but was taking charge of this one. The substitutions, maybe he was looking at the bench and going, there's nobody on there that's going to change this game. It's about damage limitation.
Yeah, I think it was strange that Tolu didn't come on because Strand Larson had a poor game, didn't he? Really poor game. But yeah, like I say, I was happy Mane come on. That's it, really. Did he only make 2 subs in the end? It felt like he didn't make many. Yeah. Yeah. It baffles me how Tolu didn't come on, really. But don't want to hammer James Collins. You know what I mean? Tough situation to be in, isn't it? Taking that team to Chelsea away as interim manager. But he's right, though. You do look at that bench, apart from Tolu, and you think, what do you do? And, the game's dead, isn't it? So by the time you've got to think about the subs, the game was dead as soon as the first goal went in. You could just feel it, couldn't you? Because we couldn't create even half a chance, really, could we? Throughout the first half, even though we defended quite valiant. No, they did all right, didn't they? Defensively, they rode the luck a bit, but they did all right. But then, just fall apart. It's tiring, isn't it? Just constantly defending wave after wave after wave of attack. Eventually, you are just going to concede through fatigue mentally and then why physically. So, I'd have brought Tolu on, but not that it'd have made any difference because we were 2 or 3 down already at that point anyway.
Reasons to be cheerful. Harry's mentioned Mane coming on for his 20 minutes, Jack. I mean, you go to way more away games than Harry or I do. What did you think of the away end? I know Harry's already mentioned it. It was loud, it was constant, and it shows that, there's a little bit of appetite for when the team is trying and players are trying, that, there's a bit of impetus there.
Yeah, it was all right. It's been the same theme for a few weeks now, really. The crowds that get people going seem to be the ones that are anti-Fosun and singing about old players, really. So I think the fans are just trying to prove a point that we're not the problem, sort of thing. We're going to try and make noise whatever happens, and just the jokey ones like nothing special, we lose every week, blah 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 blah. But saying that, it will get old eventually. But I think everything's sort of pinned on Edwards coming in at least helping us to be able to compete. I think everyone's resigned to the fact that it's so little chance of us actually getting out of this, but just rolling over and having our bellies tickled every week is just getting a bit old at the moment because we've had absolutely nothing all season really to shout about. Even the occasions where we thought we were going to get a result, they were taken away from us in the last seconds and these sorts of things. So our patience is good, and the fans are definitely trying to prove that they will back the team. Their problem is more, I think, still with the management and the board. But that patience will run out eventually. But in the meantime, I think they'll just come in, and Rob Edwards will get a great bit of backing for a bit of time, I think, because everyone's aware that really it's not his fault, and he's coming into a desperate situation. He's took a real gamble himself, hasn't he? Let's be honest. He took a real gamble. So I know he loves the club, fair play to him. But I just look at that squad, and I know they said they're going to invest in January. It'll be too late by January. And I don't know how we're going to attract players, because I just don't think there's enough there for us to be able to, even win a few games, let alone, start to get back into survival questions. So fans are great, but I think everyone's resigned to the fact we're going down. So I think taking the opinion, we're just going to enjoy these last few visits to Premier League grounds at the moment, to be honest.
Harry, just before we get on to the appointment of Rob Edwards, I just want to get your thoughts on Pedro Neto and the way that he has celebrated actually more than once when he's either been involved in goals or scored against Wolves. What's his problem?
Don't get it, really. Like, I think this all stemmed from when he very first moved, wasn't it? And we lost 6-2 to him, and he come on and set up one of the goals and went absolutely mad just from getting an assist. So obviously the Wolves fans did boo him a bit in the 3-0 loss the other week. So maybe he heard that. So that's what made him do about 15 different celebrations when he did score. And I don't get it, mate. Honestly, you've got to show... I think we treated him quite well as a fan base. I think we treated him really well as a club because he had some serious injuries and we stuck by him while he was recovering. And we pretty much springboarded his career, got him as a young lad and got him to where he is. Obviously, he's done it himself through his ability and hard work, but we bedded him in quite slowly, which we had the luxury to do back then, didn't we? Because, we had Jota and Raul and Adama and Podence, people like that. And he got his way into the first team. And I thought he'd really respect the club, but with the way he celebrated, just getting an assist that first came back, and then the way he celebrated after scoring that goal, I lost every ounce of respect I had for him, to be honest. And Neves would never do that if he ever come back to Wolves and scored. Jota never really did he? Like he'd got the odd goal against Wolves and never went nuts, So I don't get it. I really don't. Raul, don't think he'd do it. Raul Jimenez. So yeah, really disappointed to see, and obviously the YM wasn't happy, and yeah, just he was never will get a warm welcome back at Molineux again. I don't think especially after that the other week.
What do you reckon, Jack? Do you think there's something that had maybe gone on behind the scenes and he hadn't left as quickly as he maybe wanted to, or do you just think he's a bit of a dickhead?
No, I think he's a bit of a dickhead, still a bit young, probably not as mature. But maybe just the fact that he was getting a few jeers when he came back that first game against Chelsea, and then from that point he's just been like, well, screw these guys, which is a little bit, narrow-minded. And I agree with what Harry said, really. I mean, we pulled him from nothing, really, at Lazio. It wasn't like it was like, oh, there's this wonder kid coming through who's breaking through into the first team. He had like a handful of appearances, if that, for various different clubs. So really nurtured him and made him the player that he was. So yeah, I think he does owe a lot to us. And it's kind of probably not what we expect from, like you've called out the people there who tend to be the other Portuguese players. You kind of expect them to be a bit more respectful, but everyone's different. I don't particularly want him back at Wolves or want to talk about him, really. He's dead to us.
Andy seems to agree with that. Says Neto's a twat. Forgot who stuck by him when he had more injuries than Darren Anderson. That's going back a bit, but he's a fair point, I think. Let's talk about Rob Edwards, Harry. You were on Sky Sports News with a Middlesbrough fan who got absolutely annihilated by the Sky Sports presenters and Jamie O'Hara of all people. Thought it was a bit harsh to him, saying that I think he's bringing up the fact that Rob Edwards had always said that he wanted to make Middlesbrough like a family, and then saying that, you never do that to your family. And the presenter was going, well, if you got offered 3 times the money and got to move back to your actual family, would you do it? And what was your assessment of it?
Oh yeah, just on that particular clip, yeah, I thought they were quite harsh on the Boro fan there. It's been a weird week, hasn't it? I think this story has been 10 times bigger because it was the international break and it is obviously a slow news week. So I could, like the way Simon Jordan in particular on TalkSport reacted was way over the top. I don't know. I think he's mates with the borough chairman, is he, or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, Steve
but
Gibson.
Yeah, it was way over the top, and I think Middlesbrough fans have every right to be angry. I think I would be in their situation if it happened to Wolves. But then once time goes on, I think they will understand because that Borough fan, for example, on that Sky Sports News clip was like, he only played 100 times for Wolves, as if to say, what connection? But then you've got to think how long he spent time doing his coaching badges. He's been a coach in so many different roles. He said himself, didn't he, in his recent interview, it was his dream to be Wolves manager. That was his ultimate goal. So, and I know people make the joke saying, well, Wolves get rid of their managers every 15 to 18 months, so he'd have more opportunities to get the job. But you never know, he might not. He might not have ever got this opportunity again. So when you combine all those reasons together, I think he's made the right decision, despite people like Simon Jordan saying it's a mistake and he's got no integrity. But I think he's made the right decision. Middlesbrough are not guaranteed to go up. And he wouldn't have left for another Premier League team, I don't think, in the bottom half. I just don't think he would have. And it is a risk because if he has a terrible time of it, he might get sacked before the season's even out if it's like we lose every game. But yeah, strange week, really strange. The backlash and yeah, like even like Rory, people like that. Rory Jennings, that knobhead Chelsea fan, he went in on him randomly. And yeah, slow news week. So it was the hot topic of the week. Amazing for my YouTube channel. The views were flying in. So yeah, great week actually.
It's funny about Rory Jennings, isn't it? Talking about managers leaving sides to go to a Premier League team. Obviously, he's quite happy for Maresca to do it when he left Leicester to join Chelsea, having got promoted. So, I think we're all guilty of it sometimes. But another point to make there. Jack, what do you think of the appointment, and what do you think of the Middlesbrough fans' reactions? We haven't been there that long because he only joined in June, but a 21-year essentially association with the club, as Harry said, as a player and as a coach and doing his badges, etc. Do you think it's a good appointment? Do you think it was the best person who was available?
I think both of those can be true. It can be a good appointment and it can be the best person who was available at the same time. So I'm happy with it overall because it's a job that who would want it really? Who would want it?
Yeah.
Particularly to get someone who has this connection, who actually is coming in, who genuinely loves the club. It's not just going to be somebody who wants a quick payday for 6 months' work, and then potentially will ride up into the sunset and not care whether we're relegated or not, really. Which there'd have been a few applications like that sort of being thrown around. So I suppose the question was, what do I think of the Middlesbrough fans' reaction? I think I'd be a little bit annoyed as well, particularly when they're doing quite well, and the fact that it only takes a Premier League club to come in and they're looking at the table and thinking, well, why would he go there? Like, look at the state of them. Like, he's obviously just most likely going to get relegated. But there's more to it than that. I think he probably thinks that he can come in, and really success for him is just coming in and improving. It's not really about staying up, although that will be the top, the dreamland target. It's about coming in and letting us compete. And if we can get into the 20s and 30 points, even if we go down, that's improvement, I think, and that will probably keep him a job for next season, where then he can start again and hopefully work some of the magic he has with Luton and to an extent Middlesbrough too, to try and put us in a good position if we do go down, a bit of an insurance bet. But like Harry says, it could all go terribly, and he could be sacked in January if we haven't won another game by then. But then you're just thinking it's not necessarily the manager, it's the cards they're holding and just not being up to scratch. But going back to Harry's Sky Sports appearance, the one thing that annoyed me was when they were going, "Oh, he's only played 100 something times for Wolves." I'm like, that's a lot. Is that not a lot in professional football? Like that is still a lot. He's played for us more than any other club, and so I just thought that was a little bit strange. Like, you've gone past a century of appearances for a club, and that's not considered a lot anymore. Because like it is, particularly when you're not playing like Champions League games all the time and these sorts of things. You're just doing the games in the Championship. But so I thought that was all a little bit weird. But I agree, just trying to make a storm in the teacup. But the videos I saw of the fans, the Middlesbrough fans weren't happy with their chanting, and there were some banners, I think, flying around as well, weren't there? These sorts of things. So, they're a little bit annoyed, but I don't think it's like he's only been there a few months. I think they'll get over it.
Jack, do you know what surprised me the most? Why was Jamie O'Harris on my side and like backing me up on that interview? I was expecting him to come at me.
He was scared you were going to react like when you had that duel with him on Talksport, Harry. He fought him off.
Yeah, he was licking. He was being a bit too nice. It felt a bit fake to me, but there we go.
Cameron says it happens week in, week out in football. Middlesbrough have done the same to get their new guy in.
True.
Too. Tom says if we can get a connection between players and fans, that might get us more points. Whether that's enough, probably not with the squad we have. Paul says last team to survive relegation in our position was Stoke City 75 years ago. Lads, we are down. I'd like to know from the comment section, the yes or no is, do you think we will go down? I think it is inevitable. I mean, Jack, you've mentioned it already, but
great question.
Is being resigned to the fact that we're going to get relegated sort of a bit of a gift for Rob Edwards? Is that the expectations are essentially through the floor?
I wouldn't say it's a gift, but it comes with no pressure, and it's kind of a free shot, because if we go down, it's to be expected. If he can pull off some miracle, he's a bloody saviour, and there'll be bloody murals of him in Wolverhampton, wouldn't there, pretty quick. So it's a big risky move for him, but there is one pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, which would be an incredible reward for him, and he's got to come in and back himself to be able to do it. But again, I think it will all come down to the fact of just how much he can improve us and make us compete, because at the moment we're not competing, particularly in that final third, and it's just getting a little bit embarrassing. And I know we're saying about the players, but look at the ones from last season who just haven't turned up this season. We know that Agbadou's better than that. And we know that Toti's better than that. We know that Strand Larsen's better than he's been playing. So if he can just get them back to a level where it looks like they're actually trying, then I think that would be good for us. And players as well are going to need to have an eye on qualification. Norway have qualified for the World Cup. Obviously, he's not going to take Ellen Haaland's spot, but he'll want to be on that plane, and he'll want to be the second choice for Norway, won't he? And particularly if they do play two strikers, he'll want to be in there. So he wants to make sure that there's no risk to his position, really. And the way he does that is by scoring 10 goals between now and the end of the season in the Premier League. So
it's a good point, isn't it, Harry? World Cup year, places at stake, you would think.
Yeah, and Muller Wolf as well. He played both games, didn't he, for Norway?
Yeah.
So good for him. Obviously, he's still in a bit of a battle with Hugo Bueno to get our left back spot. Obviously, Bellegarde with Haiti, isn't it? I think he's the main man there, so we've got to worry about him. But yeah, it's Strand. It's actually nice to see him score, wasn't it? For Norway, it's a good finish. it was weird to see because we just haven't seen that for Wolves, particularly in the Premier League, have we? At the beginning of this season, he showed a glimpse in the West Ham Carabao Cup game, was it the very first one? But yeah, he's going to be so interesting that we'll probably talk about it a bit more when we talk about Palace. But it's like because Tolu had a torrid time, didn't he? For Nigeria, they were really criticising the Nigeria fans when he come off the bench. So will Rob Edwards think, right, I can get a tune out of Strand Larson, don't worry about this. You're my man, you're starting. Because if you watch that Chelsea game, the 3-0 loss, the last time out, he was awful. And I was thinking, before this international break, Tolu's got to be starting. He's got to. So it'd be interesting to see what Rob Edwards does. He's got a bit of a short window, hasn't he? I think his first training session was Monday. Obviously, we're recording this Wednesday midweek. So he had like 3 or 4, maybe 5 days. If he gets them in every day to prepare them, and obviously a lot ain't going to come back to
squad.
Yeah, exactly. Like a load of them ain't going to come back till maybe Thursday. So can he work miracles against a good Palace team? Can he get Strand Larson firing? That's the big question. I mean, from what we watched at Stamford Bridge, if he can all of a sudden get them attacking and creating chances, I'll take my hat off to him because it's going to be such a hard job.
They've had a little bit of a drop. We will talk about Palace, obviously, but they have a bit of a drop off. They're down to 10th and they were really up there fighting. But just before we do move on to Palace, bringing up a comment that Paul made earlier, anyone who thinks these players can get 9 wins out of 27 games needs help. I mean, it's a good point, isn't it, Jack? And obviously, we talk about how important potentially the January transfer window is going to be. But I think my maths isn't great, but I think it leaves around 16 games once the January window, I think, opens. So is that even enough to even bring in the world's greatest players and turn this around?
No, the damage will be done by then in my head, really. I suppose Rob Edwards will be coming in and thinking that I need to try and somehow win 3 or 4 games before January just to get us back sort of to a decent position. We'd still be in a relegation fight, but we need to get some wins on the board. And the fact it's the 19th of November and we haven't won a game yet is just ridiculous. I know the squad is thin and people aren't performing, but that is embarrassing. So it's a hell of a task. And anyone who doesn't really watch Wolves will be looking at the table thinking, if this was any other club this year, if this was like Southampton in previous years, or whoever it was, I'll be looking at the table now and being like, they're doomed. And as a Wolves fan, I'm looking at the table now with exactly the same head on and saying, we're doomed. Like, particularly when there's teams who are picking up points now who are in and around us, and we're just not. West Ham are winning games. The promoted teams, we've lost to all of them. Like, I just don't see it being this miracle turnaround where we go and win 5, 6 on a row again or something like that, which is what we need. So I'll believe it when I see it, but just got to take it one game at a time, and hopefully Edwards can get something on the board against Palace, and it's something to build upon. But we're running out of time, and you know what will happen anyway, because we say we'll do something in January. That means we'll do it on the 30th of January. So we'll have to play for the whole of January like with the same squad anyway. Some of them will go off to the African Cup of Nations, so we'll have about 8 players probably. So who knows?
I genuinely think for us to have any chance of staying up, I genuinely think we've got to win the next 3. And that if we do that, that was probably still 4 points off it. Because obviously other teams are going to pick up results. So yeah, win the next 3, that takes us up to 11 points. And then if Burnley don't win a game in that time, we're joint with Burnley.
This is why you accidentally eat squid and think it's onion. Right. Let's have a look at the fixtures. I'll work backwards from the 30th of December. So the remaining fixtures of 2025 in essentially reverse order, which is Manchester United away, Liverpool away. So that's a horrible Christmas. Brentford at home, Arsenal away, Man United at home, Forest at home, Villa away, and this Saturday is Crystal Palace at home. So make of that what you will. What do you think of that run of fixtures, Harry? Because
they're horrendous.
Arguably, we're getting the hard ones out of the way so that we can bring players in January, and then we'll have so-called easier games in the.
We got survival. 2 points from the so-called easier games at the start of the season. Like, what are we expecting? 1 point from this match? Like,
that's the big difference to this time last season under O'Neill. We had a really hard start, and obviously it took us to game week 11 to get our first win. This season, we've played the 3 promoted teams and we haven't got a single point against them. I still think the massive sliding doors moment this season was that Tottenham equaliser. I think if we hold out in that game, we'd be in such a different. I know it's easy to say, and we will never know ultimately. But I think we'd have gone on to beat Brighton then, and then you know what I mean. I think with that, the confidence we'd have got just from holding out that game, we'd probably still have Vitor Pereira as manager. So obviously it'd been very different. But yeah, like I say, we need some kind of miracle bounce, and we've got to beat Palace, Villa, and Forest, in my opinion, to have any chance. If we don't, if we get a couple of draws, we're done, aren't we? These next 3 games, we're down anyway, but these next 3 games will confirm whether we're down. Oh no,
we'll have to get the video.
I think we probably need to win 2 out of 3, don't we? I think asking for 3 in a row from nowhere is a little bit asking for too much for Christmas, really. But if we can just get some points on the board, 2 wins out the next 3 before the fixtures get a little bit harder, then it might at least put us in touching distance. But I just can't see it.
I think we need.
Just can't see it.
Someone alluded to the fact we need about 29 points earlier. I think we need about 35 points this season to stay up. I don't think the points tally will be as low as last season. So we've got to win. Yeah, we've got to win 10 more games. Well, we've probably got to win 11 more games and get a few draws in there. That'll take us up to like late 30s. We'd have to beat teams we're not expected to. Like we'd have to beat Man United in one of the games in December. It's just not going to happen, is it? It's just not going to happen, unfortunately. I just can't, especially with this squad. Jeff Shee and the recruitment team, Dominico Tete, whoever else was Matt Wild, Matt Jackson, they just decimated our squad and made it extremely weak. And we're probably the worst. I don't know. I still don't think we've got the worst squad in the league. It's just the confidence is through the floor. But we've got probably one of the worst squads we've ever had in our Premier League history, including the Dave Jones one and the Mick McCarthy ones, in my opinion. I think it's probably one of the worst squads we've ever had.
Or was it McCarthy was 22 points while McCarthy and Terry Connor, I think?
25 when Terry Connor finished it,
25.
Yeah.
It looks a long way away now. I wonder what Rob Edwards said in his interview. Like, do you think he came in and said, look at these next fixtures before Christmas? We're screwed, guys, whatever happens. or do you think he actually went in and pitched it like, I think I can turn this around and we can stay up? Like, what do you say in that situation?
You've got to. Yeah, surely he said that. You would anyway, and if you don't believe it, wouldn't you, to try and get the job? But I reckon he must have said to him as well, you've got to make sure if we go down, I'm promised that I can have a go at getting us back up because I am leaving Middlesbrough. I'm sure that was said. But it's mad to think that our first choice was O'Neill, looking back. I know we spoke about it last podcast, I think, but that's crazy, isn't it? Jeff was in desperation territory, but I am happy, like you said earlier, Jay, I am happy with Rob Edwards in the situation and the options we had. Because we look into the future, which Jeff Shee never seems to do. There's no plan in place, is there ever? It's all impulsive and just reactionary, our decisions. And that's why we find ourselves in the situation we're in, because we've got clueless people running the club.
Oh, 100%. And even if by some miracle we are saved by hook or by crook, it's just going to be exactly the same thing, but without João Gomez, who's apparently going to Man United. I've seen this week reports in Portugal suggesting that is the case. But let's talk about Palace. Jack, would you make any changes to the side that lost 3-0 to Chelsea? What would you do?
I mean, this is really interesting. You boys probably know a bit more than me, but how does Rob Edwards set up? Like, what does he like?
3-4-3. 3-4-3, like we've been playing, or a 5-2-3, whichever way you look at it. He plays the 2 number 10s in. But at Luton, he'd have a big man up there, that Morris, or I can't remember the big, huge guy they had. They'd have him up the front, and then they'd have 2 like wide forwards behind him, just like been playing this season. So I'm sure he'll tweak it and play a bit differently, but it'll be the same shape.
Okay, interesting. It goes back to exactly the same talk about team selection we had before Chelsea, isn't it? Really, you'll go in and have a look at them. We know the players who should be starting, but it's that final third of the pitch again, which just properly concerns me. And I don't know. There's so many question marks about so many players. We've called out Arias already, called out Jackson Chachua already, we've called out Tolu already, and you just don't see where anything's really coming from. And
Arias is going apparently. Well, Arias was gone in January.
Well, yeah, goodbye. If I could drive to Brazil, I'd take him. But, drop
him off at the airport.
But, something's obviously not right with him because it's been, you with the hype surrounding him, that could be any guy off the bloody street who's just turned up to play. Like, there's just no spark there, apart from hitting the bar against, was it Burnley? Or wherever he hit the bar against. Like that's it really. And all his other corners and bloody free kicks have been awful.
Oh, his corners. His corners.
So I don't know. I've always been a fan of the experimenters. I want to see Strand Larsen and Tolu together, but then obviously they do need support to be able to actually score something. But it doesn't sound like Edwards is going to set up this way anyway. But what do you guys think?
It's interesting, isn't it, Harry? I suppose there's a question mark really over the goalkeeper because I haven't been impressed with Johnson. I'm still not really convinced by Sarr either, but you've got to play one of them. I mean, we could play both of them. I don't think it would matter.
Yeah, I'm sure Rob Edwards had an idea of our squad and the people just from the outside watching, but now obviously he's going to spend quality time with them. I think we will see changes from Chelsea. I just pray to God that Hwang don't con him into getting a start. I think Hwang's days have got to be done. Vitor loved him, but please. The Strand Larsen one, I do think we will see him start. Just because the money he's on as well. He's got that massive new contract, didn't he? I really hope Rob Edwards can show a bit more confidence to get a tune out of Fair Lopez because Vitor clearly didn't rate him at all. And then obviously I hope he gives Mane more of a chance. And then I think defensively, I think he will try and integrate Agbadou back in, I think. He'll try because he'll see how good he was last season. The goalkeeper one, Sam, I think, it's flip of a coin, isn't it? Because Johnston, I thought he did okay first half against Chelsea, actually. But yeah, flip of a coin there. And I don't know, like when you look at it's just hard to see how you can make it better, isn't it? Right, he's got to be a little bit of a miracle worker. How can you improve us going forward? I know it's Chelsea, I know it's Stamford Bridge, but it's not just that game, is it? There's been a lot of games this season when you're like, where are we going to score? How are we going to create anything? No pace at all. And I mean, Manetzi was loved by Vitor. Will he be still in the team a lot? I don't know, but it's fascinating, isn't it? It's actually fascinating to see what he goes with that first game.
It's quite incredible, isn't it? Sat here 11 months after Vitor coming in and that 3-0 Leicester win, and you just think, my God, it feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? Incredible.
It sounds like we're all saying that the team's going to be Jose Sarr, Kiana Hoover, Agbadou, Hwang.
That's the thing. I mean, Harry, when you put the video of Hwang's penalty for South Korea last night, which was the most limp-wristed penalty I've ever seen, and someone had just commented, "We turned down 20 million for him."
Yeah, but
and it's like, right.
How as a professional footballer done a penalty like that? He was like a daisy cutter, wasn't it? He was like, oh. But then I put on as well. Remember his penalty against Stoke in pre-season, and then he had a penalty in the Carabao Cup against West Ham at the post. He's had 3 penalties. His 3 last penalties, and he's missed them all. It's crazy. His fall off has been. Well, he's had one good season, hasn't he? And it was under O'Neill.
Yeah.
Apart from that, he's been so inconsistent. But you watch Rob Edwards start him against Palace. I just hope he don't, because we've got Tolu and Strand Larsen, but I genuinely think Hwang's probably best through the middle, but he's not better than them two, in my opinion. And his only goal this season come from when he started in the middle, wasn't it? Against Everton, he started up front because Larsen was injured and Tolu wasn't here yet. And he scored. But apart from that game, he did nothing else. So, wow, I don't know. Rob, do you know, I don't envy him, to be honest. What is it? I feel a bit sorry for him. I think that's the word. But hopefully he can get a tune out of us, and he's got a hell of a job on his hands.
I've got a question for you. Just came to me. So every Premier League game left, at the start of the game, Wolves get a free penalty, but Hwang has to take it. Do we stay up?
No.
If it's up Molineux, it clears the North Bank if it's the North Bank end.
Honestly, oh dear. Well, look, let's do a score prediction, Jack.
You just don't know. You don't know the team, and there's got to be a reaction. If we don't get something, then we're inevitably going to go down. It is getting that desperate. So, to be honest, I'm going to go with my heart rather than my head. I'm going to say we'll grind out a 2-1 win, but I don't really think that will happen.
Do you know what? I don't think you've been wrong on a result this season.
Did I say 3-0 Chelsea? I think I did.
You did.
Yeah. There we go.
And that's when we were being positive. I think it was on your vlog, Harry,
You
we're
might
all
have said it
trying
on
to
the
be,
actual pod as well,
we're all
Jack.
being quite positive, weren't we? And
Maybe.
then after all the positivity, Jack said 3-0 Chelsea, and you're absolutely correct. Harry, what are you going for?
I'll try and be positive because I'm just a negative Nelly, and I'll go 1-1. You see what Neil's put? I've just completely forgot about this. Yeah, I'll go. What were you going for, Sam? Before I get this comment up,
I go 2-1 Wolves. Going to go with Jack's. Any credible evidence about Calvin Phillips and Dwight McNeil?
I didn't know.
Have you? Where was that?
Yeah, it was rumoured that. Well, apparently we did inquire and try and get Phillips in the summer, but obviously it didn't happen. And apparently there are targets for January. But wouldn't you think now Rob's here? Wouldn't our targets be a little bit different? Maybe. Maybe that was what Vito. I don't know. But we definitely need a midfielder, don't we? But we have got to get homegrown people, and I assume those two do fall into the homegrown category. So cause that's what all we've got at the moment is 2 homegrown spots free, and all the rest is full. But I reckon we might see a lot of chop and change in January, especially if we're already down. We're going to see. I think we'll see the likes of John Arias go, and people get loaned out. And yeah, it's. I've seen a great comment, by the way. Someone put John Arias. He hasn't just not replaced Cunha. He hasn't even replaced Guedes. What a great comment.
I think that's fair enough. I still think Guedes is probably offered more in his last season at Wolves.
Guedes did not want to be here at all one bit, but he was still better than John Arias and still putting better performances, and he just didn't want to play for us.
Agreed. But
can't go on like this, can it, Sam?
It can.
It's crazy when you just said, Harry, then that we have no spots left for because the non-homegrown quota's full, and you just think like, full of what? Like what is there that stands out in terms of that should be filling up our slots? It's just so mediocre. It's just so poor, isn't it, on paper? It's absolute disgrace, really, the way they've got us in this situation with such bad planning and such poor recruitment.
That's why we had to loan Kalajic out, isn't it? Because like we just couldn't register him because we ran out of spaces. It's just I don't know.
Robert says Tommy Doyle will be back. I think that's probably a good shout. I don't really think he's been playing much for Blues, though. I haven't been keeping an eye on the Championship.
Yeah,
start doing my research there.
He started to get back in lately, but I think they have to get promoted. I think it's an obligation to buy if they get promoted. So fingers crossed they don't, because I'd have him back, especially in the Championship. I can't believe we got rid of him in the first place, but obviously Vitor didn't fancy him, did he? So interesting. Obviously, we've got Booba to come back as well. He might be playing for us in the Championship. I doubt he might go, but Sam, I'm holding this jumper for fun.
Oh yeah, Harry's dying to show.
No,
us.
I'm not. You said you literally made me go and get this jumper, and I'm just happy with it.
You have bought it up twice in about 2 minutes.
Well, because I just feel like I'm pointless having it here for no reason.
It's all right. It's paying rent, isn't it?
Right.
Obviously, we're quite well known for saying the Mick McCarthy phrase of "It can't get any worse, can it?" It can, and it has been turned into a Christmas jumper, and it is pretty much the season. There's 36 days until Christmas, so we feel it's the appropriate time for Harry to show us his Christmas jumper.
This is great listening. There's people who are listening.
I will explain it. I will explain what it looks like, Harry. If you hold it for the camera for those.
Well, first of all, it smells lovely. It only come the other day.
Okay,
great quality. I can't remember where I brought it from though, so did you have to Google it?
It smells nice. So you clearly haven't worn it yet.
Yeah, it's good.
So it's a nice Christmassy background of reindeers and snowflakes with a picture of Mick McCarthy on the front, and it says, "It can't be Christmas, can it?" And it has "It can" in big letters. I am tempted to go out and buy one. Apparently, there's others, aren't there, Harry? With Roy Keane saying Santa delivering presents, everyone praising him. It's his job.
It's his job.
A couple of other choice Donald Trump ones as well. If that's the way you swing as well. But Jack, will you be purchasing a "It Can" Christmas jumper? Just
to say, we're not on commission here in any way.
No,
that's true.
This is an actual Harry Mansell approved product. So much so we won't be saying where he got it from because we can't remember.
I can't remember.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. And I saw a few knocking around on the sort of targeted ads. So yeah, maybe. But then we'll all have one and we'll all clash.
That's true. We need to get a Jeff Shee one. Yeah, there's got to be some kind of Jeff Shee Christmas jumper. I've seen Sutties in the comments. We try and get one of those Taiwan Christmas jumpers.
Yeah, I mean, what could a Jeff Shee one Look, I'm trying to think of the Jeff Shee one. Maybe if you don't like presents, then maybe Christmas isn't for you, or something along the lines of.
If Jeff
the
Shee was
Grinch.
Santa, you'd be getting coal and then just have a picture of his
That's
face.
it, yeah, exactly. There was something on BBC Sport this week which tickled my fancy, which was looking for Wolves' best ever Premier League 11, and I wanted to sort of end on a little bit of a positive. And BBC Sport have basically collated and run through all the numbers, and it's essentially turned out a little bit like this. I'm just trying to find the right one. Bear with me.
Oh,
It's going to be here somewhere. It's going to be here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is what most fans would say. So I imagine we're going to be around about this ballpark, but I want to open it up to the floor afterwards. We've got Rui Patricio in goal, Doherty right wing back, Cody Bolly Sace, 8 Nori left wing back. In the middle, you've got João Gomez, João Moutinho, and Ruben Neves. Up front, you've got Jota and Jimenez. Are there any players you think you would add in there? I reckon the older fans, including us probably amongst us, may go for somebody like Paul Ince in the middle. I saw a few people had put Dennis Irwin in there as well. Are we missing anyone? I think there was a slight change in
what's the
formation.
exact criteria, Sam? Sorry. What's the exact criteria?
Our greatest ever Premier League 11.
Premier League.
Premier League players who played in the Premier League.
Because I was going to say, I'd throw Lescott in, but he didn't play in the Premier League, did he?
No,
he was injured. He was in the squad.
Yeah, he's injured though.
I think Matt Jarvis you could have a shout for. He got an England cap while playing for us. Traore would be the other one. I know Adama. I know he's hit and miss, but he offered a big dynamic to us, didn't he?
You know, I thought was underrated. I thought Kevin Foley was quite underrated in the Premier League back in the day. Played right back and right. He played right wing a lot in the 4-5-1, didn't he? Who was right back, Doherty?
Yeah.
And it was a 4-3-3?
It's a 5-2.
You name 3 midfielders, didn't you?
I say 5 at the back, 3 in the middle. Sorry, João Gomez and Moutinho and Neves.
And is it Jota and Jimenez at the top?
Jota and Jimenez at the top.
That's got to be that, hasn't it? Where are you going to squeeze Adama in? You can't, can you? Unless you put him wing back.
Does Cunha get in there?
Irwin, was it left back?
No, Johnny.
Oh, Johnny, yeah, fucking hell.
I think there's a case for potentially taking out João Gomez and replacing him with Matt Jarvis and going 3.
Like put the 3 up there. Yeah. What about Jose Sarr for Patricio, Sam? What about that?
Absolutely no chance. It was not even close, is it? I mean, Patricio is arguably the best goalkeeper we've had. Probably.
Michael Oates?
Certainly
Matt Murray.
Lifetime.
Matt Murray played one game in the Premier for that. Did he even play in the Premier?
No, but I mean, I just mean as in our lifetime, I think Patricio is the best keeper, probably apart from Matt Murray. But
Doherty sews up the right wing back spot because he was just so incredible in that Nuno era, wasn't he? Is Bolly in the back 3? Name the back 3 again. I missed that.
Oh, I've lost it now.
Oh, Bolly, Cody.
Bolly, Cody Sace is the.
Bolly, Cody Sace, yeah. Jody Craddock, anyone? No.
Craddock
scored a few.
I love Craddock. I absolutely loved Craddock, man. Like, yeah.
Henri Camara, did he get in there, Harry?
Who?
Henri Camara?
No, fuck me. He couldn't score the first half of the season, could he? Like, he was definitely put Cole Court in though. No, I'm joking. Kevin Doyle. I loved Kevin Doyle back in the day.
I love Kevin Doyle actually,
but he's just not Raul and Jota, is he?
Not really. No, I mean,
I think they've got it. I think they've got it pretty much spot on there. You know, Bolly, Cody Sace.
He was left back, sorry.
I think it was Johnny. It was either Johnny or Dennis Irwin. I can't remember.
Ryan Bennett. I like Bennett.
I mean, there's a shout for Semedo in there, isn't there? Let's be honest. I think.
Yeah, but Doherty, man, the goals.
Yeah, I know you're thinking from an attacking thing, but by the looks of it, Semedo's been carrying our defence for the last 3 years, and no one's noticed. So
Jesus for Leo, would you put him in?
Well, it's Champions League winner.
Champions League winner, yeah. I mean, Martin says just pick the 2018-19 team, and I think that just shows how far we've fallen, isn't it? That the fans are singing the songs from pre-COVID, I suppose you'd call it, and I can't think of anybody who gets in front of them. There's an argument probably, apart from the way he left, but Cunha should probably be in there somewhere, but is he better than Jota? Probably not.
Well, do you know what I loved, but he didn't play much in the Prem? Kenny Miller. Well, he didn't really score in the Prem, did he?
Kenny Miller?
United. That's all that matters.
He only got the odd goal, didn't he? In the Championship, he was on fire.
Somewhere, Harry, I've got that Man United game on DVD.
Did we speak the other week? Did we name our favourite? I don't know why. I think we spoke about this the other week when we named our favourite ever player.
Raul, for me.
I think I said Kenny Miller. That's why it comes to my head. But no, I think that team, was it the BBC Sport? I think they've got that pretty much spot on. There's probably an argument for one or two. But it's depressing, isn't it? Because none of the current players get in, do they?
No, I don't think so.
It says how far we've fallen. And that's why, like, Jeff in the summer, when he did his last interview, was like, you've got to forget about the past. Let's concentrate on now and the future. Yeah, Jeff, because we think about the recent past, we start crying at all the players you've let go over the last 5 or 6 years. You're dope. Krejci, there we go.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, João Gomez potentially as well, but we'll leave that for another week. Best of luck if you're heading to Molineux at the weekend. We'll say goodbye to Harry Mansell.
Ta-da!
And Jack Williams.
Bye, everybody.
And it's a goodbye from me. Goodbye.